Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, I am ridiculously sick. I had to take a bunch of Dayquil just to basically do this review for you guys, but I saw a movie that I wanted to talk about, got into a screening of a movie that I saw a preview for, didn't think anything of it, found out that it was out, and I was like, oh, well, apparently that happened. That's a thing now. Black Sea. Okay, so Black Sea is a survival, heist type movie starring Jude Law. Now, Jude Law plays a submarine pilot who, he's hit a bit of bad luck. He's had a rough patch. And he is basically saying, my life sucks. His company is like, yeah, we care about you. You immediately relate to this guy, and it's really cool. And so then his friends and him are all at a pub, and they're like, yeah, we all kind of have dead-end jobs now. We were these great sailors, we did these wonderful things, and now we're nothing. And this sucks. Let's do something about it. So then one of them says, well, I just happen to know that there's treasure from a Nazi ship, you pesky Nazis. And it's down there and no one can really get to it, so let's do it so we can be rich. And I like seeing these people who are great at their craft get ready to go on an impossible mission. When we get our craft, we sail off, and it's all really cool, because at first it's like this heist movie building, and then things hit the fan, and it becomes this claustrophobic survival movie. And people, this is a solid time at the movies. Jude Law completely, he just embodies this character that he is. Scoot McNairy does a really good job at his character. I won't spoil anything for those of you who want to see it. What I also really loved is that because they're on a submarine, basically like 90% of the movie, it feels very claustrophobic. You felt very contained. And it was really intense. There's a segment in the middle, the movie's kind of just chugging along. And then when it hits that second act where you're just, you're at the peak in the middle, it gets so relenting. And I won't spoil anything, but because they're taking this rusty, old, terrible submarine down into the ocean to get this treasure. So they have to take a lot of risks. And you're just watching it with nail-biting intensity. Now, the film does drag a bit. To be completely honest, the film does drag, and it does detract from it a little bit. I felt like they could cut, I'd say maybe 15 to 20 minutes off the runtime, and it would have been fantastic. But either way, it's not quite a conventional commercial film, but it's still a wonderful time at the movies. I quite enjoyed myself. Is it a perfect movie? No. It reminded me of as if The Grey was underwater and had a baby with The Hunt for Red October. That's pretty much what you're in for. Jude Law does great, Scoot McNairy does great, so you're getting really good quality acting, and it just was enjoyable beginning to end. You relate to these characters, and then after a while, you start to try and question who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, because ultimately, the moral of the story is human greed and what it does to us. And I thought it was really interesting. It did try to get a little more thought-provoking than it needed to be. What this was simply an adventure flick. It's like one of those books that you'd read while you're on an airplane, and you're just like, oh god, just try and kill time. And you enjoy the book, and you put it down, and you go about your life. This was a very enjoyable time. I feel like this would be most enjoyable if you go watch it at a matinee. This is a solid time, you're about to go do a bunch of stuff with your family, and you catch a movie beforehand. Catch the early admission matinee showing where it's discounted, and it would be a great time. I think your money would be well spent. It's very well shot. It keeps that close, cramped feeling, so they used a lot of, from what I can tell, just really shallow depth of field. It really just got you in. The film is presumably pretty low budget, but it looks a lot bigger budgeted than it is because they're really only in one set. It was quite effective, and you really cared about the characters. And You want them to win. You want them to get through, and it's just this solid adventure film. Like I said, it's a great matinee. For those of you who are really excited for it, go out and see it. It's definitely worth watching. I really enjoyed myself. So Black Sea, solid good time at the movies. Check it out one of these days. Okay, are you going to see Black Sea, and what's your favorite survival movie at sea? Alright, comment below, let me know. Sorry I kept this review pretty brief. I'm really sick. I'm going to go take some cough drops and then pass out and wake up and feel hopefully a little better. But please like, subscribe. I've got more reviews coming to you.